A primitive vessel. In the vast expanse of uncharted space, a small, unassuming vessel ventured forth. The Zephyr, a human explorer ship, was a patchwork of ingenuity and determination, cobbled together from the best technology Earth had to offer. Its mission: to push the boundaries of human knowledge and chart a path for future generations. Captain Aria Rux stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the viewscreen displaying the endless stars before them. She had assembled a crew of the brightest minds and bravest souls, each driven by an insatiable curiosity to unravel the mysteries of the cosmos. As Zephyr navigated through a dense asteroid field, its hull bearing the scars of countless close calls, a sudden alarm blared through the ship. "Captain, we've got an unknown vessel on our sensors," the helmsman reported, his voice tight with tension. Aria leaned forward, her brow furrowed. On screen, the view screen shifted, revealing a sleek, angular ship that dwarfed the Zephyr in size and sophistication. Its hull shimmered with an iridescent sheen, and its engines pulsed with an otherworldly light. "They're hailing us," the communications officer said, her fingers dancing across the console. Aria nodded. "Open a channel." The view screen flickered, and the image of a tall, slender alien appeared. Its skin was a deep, rich purple, and its eyes glowed with an intense, intelligent light. "Greetings, primitive vessel," the alien spoke, its voice melodic and condescending. "I am Commander Xyloth of the Quellan Empire. Your presence in our space is a violation of our sovereignty." Aria straightened her shoulders, meeting the alien's gaze with unwavering determination. "I am Captain Aria Rux of the Earth ship Zephyr. We come in peace, seeking only to explore and learn." Xyloth's lips curled into a smirk. "Learn? From what I can see, your ship is a crude assemblage of outdated technology. What could you possibly hope to learn with such primitive tools?" Aria bristled at the insult, but maintained her composure. "We may not have your advanced technology, but we have something far more valuable: the human spirit. We have an unquenchable thirst for knowledge and a relentless determination to push beyond our limits." Xyloth scoffed. "Your spirit will do little to protect you from the dangers of the universe. You are insignificant specks in the grand tapestry of the cosmos. Now, be gone from our space, or face the consequences." With that, the transmission ended, leaving the bridge of the Zephyr in stunned silence. Aria's eyes narrowed, a fire burning within her. "We'll show them what human ingenuity can achieve," she declared. "Set a course for the nearest uncharted system. We have work to do." As the Zephyr ventured deeper into the unknown, its crew little suspected that their journey was about to take an unexpected turn, one that would challenge everything they thought they knew about the universe and their place within it. An impossible discovery. The Zephyr glided through the inky blackness of space, its patchwork hull illuminated by the faint glow of distant stars. Captain Aria Rux sat in her quarters, poring over the data they'd collected from their encounters with the Quellan Empire. Their dismissive attitude towards human technology had only fueled her determination to prove them wrong. A sudden knock at her door pulled Aria from her thoughts. "Enter," she called out. The door slid open, revealing the ship's chief engineer, Dr. Liam Novak. His eyes were wide with excitement, and he clutched a data pad in his trembling hands. "Captain, you need to see this," he said breathlessly. Aria raised an eyebrow. "What is it, Liam?" Liam thrust the data pad into her hands. "We've stumbled upon something incredible. During our last sensor sweep, we detected an anomaly, a distortion in the fabric of space-time." Aria's eyes widened as she scanned the data. "This is unlike anything I've ever seen. The energy readings are off the charts." Liam nodded, his voice trembling with excitement. "Captain, I believe we've discovered a new form of space-time manipulation. If we can harness this technology, it could revolutionize space travel as we know it." Aria felt a surge of excitement coursing through her veins. "Imagine the possibilities, Liam. We could traverse vast distances in a fraction of the time, explore the furthest reaches of the universe." Liam's face grew serious. But Captain, there's more. The Quellans, they've detected the anomaly too. They're sending a scout ship to investigate. Aria's jaw clenched. We can't let them get their hands on this technology. It's too important. We have to study it first, understand its potential. Liam nodded. I've already begun analyzing the data. With your permission, I'd like to assemble a team to investigate further. Aria placed a hand on Liam's shoulder. Do it. This discovery could change everything. We have to be the ones to unlock its secrets. As Liam left to gather his team, Aria stared out at the stars, her mind racing with possibilities. The Zephyr, a primitive vessel in the eyes of the Quellans, had stumbled upon something that could alter the balance of power in the galaxy. She knew they were on the cusp of something extraordinary, but little did she know just how much their lives were about to change. Unlikely allies. Vortex, a brilliant Quellan scientist, watched the human vessel from the observation deck of the Quellan scout ship. He had been assigned to investigate the anomaly, but his curiosity was piqued by the tenacity and ingenuity of the human crew. Against his better judgment, Vortex made a decision that would change the course of his life. Using his advanced cloaking technology, he snuck aboard the Zephyr, determined to learn more about the humans and their groundbreaking discovery. As Vortex materialized in the Zephyr's engineering bay, he found himself face to face with the ship's chief engineer, Dr. Liam Novak. Startled, Liam reached for his sidearm, but Vortex held up his hands in a gesture of peace. Wait, Vortex implored. I mean you no harm. I am here to learn, to understand your technology and your way of thinking. Liam eyed the Quellan suspiciously. And why should I trust you? Your people have made it clear that they see us as primitive and insignificant. Vortex lowered his gaze. I know our leaders can be short-sighted, but I am a scientist driven by the pursuit of knowledge. I believe that we have much to learn from each other. Liam hesitated, then slowly lowered his weapon. I'm listening. Over the next few days, Vortex worked alongside the human crew, sharing his knowledge of Quellan technology and learning about the human approach to problem-solving. He was astounded by their resourcefulness and their ability to think outside the box. Together, they delved deeper into the mysterious space-time anomaly, working to stabilize and harness its potential. Vortex's expertise in quantum mechanics proved invaluable, and the human crew's unconventional ideas pushed the boundaries of what they thought was possible. As the days turned into weeks, Vortex found himself growing fond of the human crew, particularly Captain Aria Rux. Her leadership and unwavering determination inspired him, and he began to question the rigid hierarchy of Quellan society. However, their newfound partnership was about to face its greatest challenge. The Quellan leadership had learned of Vortex's unauthorized collaboration with the humans, and they were not pleased. A fleet of Quellan warships was dispatched to the Zephyr's location, with orders to seize the technology and put an end to the human meddling. Aria stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the view screen as the Quellan fleet emerged from hyperspace. She glanced at Vortex, who stood beside her, his face etched with worry. They will demand that you hand over the technology and submit to Quellan rule, Vortex said solemnly. They see your discovery as a threat to their dominance. Aria's eyes flashed with determination. We cannot let this technology fall into the wrong hands. It has the potential to uplift humanity, to give us a fighting chance in the galactic community. Vortex placed a hand on Aria's shoulder. I will stand with you, Captain. Whatever comes next, we face it together. As the Quellan fleet closed in, the Zephyr prepared for a battle that would determine not only their own fate, but the future of humanity itself. The stakes had never been higher, but Aria knew that with their unlikely ally by their side, they had a chance to defy the odds and forge a new path forward. The Quellan ultimatum. The Quellan fleet loomed ominously on the view screen, their sleek, angular ships bristling with advanced weaponry. Captain Aria Rux stood resolute on the bridge of the Zephyr, her crew tense and ready for action. A hail from the Quellan flagship broke the tense silence. Earth vessel Zephyr, This is Admiral Zaxxon of the Quellan Empire. You are harboring a traitor and have illegally acquired Quellan technology. Surrender immediately or face the consequences. Aria's eyes narrowed. Admiral Zaxxon, we have violated no laws. The technology we have discovered belongs to all sentient beings, not just the Quellan Empire. Zaxxon's voice dripped with disdain. You are in no position to make such claims. Primitive, hand over the traitor Vortex and the technology, and submit to Quellan rule. This is your only warning. Aria glanced at Vortex, who stood beside her, his face etched with determination. I will not betray our friendship or our principles, she declared. We will not submit to your demands. Zaxxon's face contorted with rage. Then you have sealed your fate. Prepare to be boarded. The Quellan fleet opened fire, their advanced weapons tearing through the Zephyr's patchwork shields. The ship shuddered under the onslaught, alarms blaring as systems overloaded. Evasive maneuvers. Aria shouted over the chaos. Divert all power to shields and engines. The Zephyr lurched and spun, desperately trying to evade the relentless barrage. But even with Vortex's knowledge of Quellan tactics, they were hopelessly outmatched. Captain, we can't take much more of this. The helmsman cried, his hands flying over the controls. Aria gritted her teeth, her mind racing. They couldn't outfight the Quellans, but perhaps they could outmaneuver them. Set a course for the nearest asteroid field, she ordered. We'll lose them in the rocks. The Zephyr plunged into the dense field of tumbling asteroids, its hull groaning under the strain. The Quellan ships pursued, their weapons carving fiery paths through the debris. Aria watched the view screen, her heart pounding as the Zephyr wove through the treacherous maze. Asteroids shattered against their weakened shields, showering the hull with jagged shards. Suddenly, a massive asteroid loomed before them, too close to evade. Braced for impact. Aria shouted, gripping the armrests of her chair. The Zephyr slammed into the asteroid, its hull crumpling like tin foil. The bridge went dark, the only light coming from sparking consoles and flickering emergency lamps. Aria pulled herself from the wreckage, her head throbbing. Around her, the crew stirred, nursing injuries and assessing the damage. Captain, the Quellans are still out there, Vortex said, his voice strained. We can't stay here. Aria nodded, her resolve hardening. We'll have to take our chances in uncharted space. It's our only hope of evading the Quellans and protecting the technology. As the battered Zephyr limped away from the asteroid field, its crew knew that their journey had taken a desperate turn. Hunted by the Quellans and far from home, they would have to rely on their wits and each other to survive. But even in their darkest hour, Aria knew that the human spirit would not be broken. They would find a way to fight back, to safeguard the technology that could change the course of history. The Quellan ultimatum had only strengthened their resolve, and they would not rest until they had secured a future for humanity among the stars. Ingenuity under fire. In the depths of uncharted space, the Zephyr drifted, its hull battered and its systems failing. The once vibrant ship now resembled a wounded beast, limping through the darkness on its last legs. Captain Aria Rux surveyed the damage, her face grim. The Quellan attack had taken a heavy toll, and they were dangerously low on resources. But she refused to give up hope. All right, people, she said, addressing her weary crew. We may be down, but we're not out. We've got a ship to repair and a mission to complete. The crew set to work, their determination fueled by the knowledge that failure was not an option. Engineers scrambled to patch hull breaches and reroute power, while scientists pored over the data they'd collected on the spacetime anomaly. Dr. Liam Novak, the ship's chief engineer, worked tirelessly to keep the Zephyr's vital systems online. His brow furrowed as he examined a fried power coupling, the result of a direct hit from a Quellan weapon. We're running out of spare parts, he said, his voice strained. If we don't find a way to adapt, we're dead in the water. Vortex, the Quellan scientist who had defected to the human side, stepped forward. Perhaps I can be of assistance, he said, his eyes glinting with an idea. Quellan technology is highly modular. With a few modifications, we could integrate some of our components into your systems. Liam's eyes widened. That's brilliant. Your tech is light years ahead of ours. If we can make it work with what we have, we could give the Zephyr capabilities beyond anything the Quellans have seen. Vortex finished, a smile spreading across his face. The crew set to work, their spirits lifted by this new glimmer of hope. Human ingenuity and Quellan technology merged, giving birth to innovations that pushed the boundaries of what was thought possible. As the days turned into weeks, the Zephyr began to transform. Its patchwork hull now bore the sleek lines of Quellan design, and its engines thrummed with a new powerful energy. The once primitive vessel had become a hybrid, a testament to the power of unity and cooperation. But even as the Zephyr grew stronger, the specter of the Quellan fleet loomed large. They knew it was only a matter of time before the Quellans found them, and they needed a plan. Aria called a meeting of her senior staff, her face etched with determination. "We've come too far to let the Quellans win," she said, her voice ringing with conviction. "It's time we took the fight to them." The room fell silent, the weight of her words hanging in the air. Vortex stepped forward, his eyes locked with Aria's. "What do you propose, Captain?" Aria's lips curled into a smile, a glint of mischief in her eyes. "We're going to use their own technology against them. We'll lure them in, make them think we're weak and vulnerable. And then, when they least expect it, we'll unleash the full might of the Zephyr." The crew exchanged glances, a mix of excitement and apprehension on their faces. They knew the risks, but they also knew that this was their best chance to secure a future for humanity. As the meeting adjourned and the crew prepared for the battle to come, Aria stood at the view screen, her gaze fixed on the stars. The Zephyr, once a primitive vessel, had become a symbol of human resilience and ingenuity. And now, with the knowledge and technology of two civilizations at their fingertips, they were ready to face the Quellans and forge a new path for their species. The final confrontation was coming, and the Zephyr would be ready. Against all odds, they would fight for their right to explore, to discover, and to shape their own destiny among the stars. Defiance and unity. The Zephyr emerged from the depths of uncharted space, a phoenix rising from the ashes of its former self. Its hull gleamed with the sleek lines of Quellan technology, seamlessly integrated with the rugged determination of human engineering. On the bridge, Captain Aria Rux stood tall. Her Kuretriclaud's response was limited as it hit the maximum length allowed at this time. Arrayed behind her, they had been through hell and back, but their spirits were unbroken. They knew that the fate of humanity rested on their shoulders, and they were ready to face the Quellan fleet head-on. As the Zephyr approached the Quellan armada, Aria opened a channel to the flagship. "Admiral Zaxxon, this is Captain Aria Rux of the Earth ship Zephyr. We come in peace, seeking to parley." The view screen flickered to life, revealing the stern face of Admiral Zaxxon. "You have defied our ultimatum, and consorted with a traitor. There can be no peace between us." Aria met his gaze unflinchingly. "Admiral, we have both seen the potential of the technology we have discovered. It has the power to change the course of galactic history, to bring about a new era of understanding and cooperation between our species." Zaxxon scoffed. "You speak of cooperation, yet you refuse to submit to our rule. The Quellan Empire will not tolerate defiance from a primitive race." Aria's eyes flashed with determination. "We are not primitive, Admiral. We are a species of explorers, of dreamers, of innovators. We have achieved in mere decades what it took your people centuries to accomplish." She gestured to Vortex, who stood beside her. "Look at what we have created together. A ship that embodies the best of both our civilizations. Imagine what we could achieve if we worked in harmony, as equals." Vortex stepped forward, his voice ringing with conviction. "My fellow Quellans, we have been blinded by our own arrogance. We have dismissed the humans as beneath us, but they have shown us the true meaning of courage and ingenuity. He turned to face the view screen, his eyes locking with Zaxxon's. I stand with the humans, not as a traitor, but as an ambassador. Let us forge a new path together, one of mutual respect and understanding. On the Quellan flagship, a murmur of dissent rippled through the ranks. Zaxxon's face twisted with rage, but before he could speak, another voice cut through the silence. The traitor speaks the truth. It was Xyloth, the Quellan commander who had first encountered the Zephyr. I have seen the potential of these humans firsthand. They are a species to be reckoned with, and we would be foolish to make an enemy of them. Other Quellan voices joined the chorus, scientists and diplomats stepping forward to voice their support for a new era of cooperation. Zaxxon's grip on his command console tightened, his knuckles turning white. Enough, he bellowed, his voice cracking with fury. I will not be swayed by the words of traitors and primitives. The Quellan Empire will prevail, and we will take what is rightfully ours. But even as he spoke, the tide was turning. Quellan ships began to break formation, aligning themselves with the Zephyr. The once monolithic armada fractured, torn between those who clung to the old ways and those who dared to dream of a different future. Aria's voice rang out once more, a clarion call to the stars. Today, we stand on the brink of a new frontier. Let us seize this moment, not as conquerors, but as partners in the great journey of discovery. As the Zephyr and its Quellan allies set forth into the unknown, the galaxy trembled with the weight of their destiny. The once primitive vessel had become a symbol of unity and defiance, a beacon of hope for all those who dared to dream of a better tomorrow. And so, the story of the Zephyr and its valiant crew passed into legend, a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity and the power of cooperation in the face of adversity. In the years to come, their legacy would inspire generations of explorers, scientists, and dreamers, all striving to push the boundaries of what was possible and to forge a brighter future for all. The end.